the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I am your man behind the microphone, Jeff. To my left is Scholar Tarek.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a draining week of professional wrestling, if I can say so myself.
Do you say so yourself, other guy to my left, Scholar Brian?
Sure. Hello there.
Oh, yeah.
We're all feeling just the road to WrestleMania is now the extra long lane of just pure nothingness. We're just on the road again.
And we're apparently squeezing more driving and road analogies into this road to WrestleMania, which I thought was really weird.
Why not? Let's just keep the shit rolling.
Yes. And considering we're talking about keeping the shit rolling, let's keep it rolling with the way we always start every rolling thing.
What?
This is a segue to Backstage News.
Okay, alright. Let's go ahead and start peeking behind the counter and checking in on a little
Backstage News.
Wait, did I say behind the counter?
You said behind the counter.
Behind the curtain. Hey.
Wow, it has been a long week.
It really has. This has been a big drain of a week for all of us. Brian, you're next in this whole Scholars Bingo messing up on our show.
It's over. It's all an epic meh.
Game over, man.
Considering what's been going on this past week, it has been a meh.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, for the first time for Backstage News, let's talk about the WWE Hall of Fame. Specifically, the latest two inductees. First off, we had The Godfather, and just announced this week, we got the Freebirds finally going into the Hall of Fame.
The Godfather for me is like the Coco Beware. I was
on.
like, why?
Because The Godfather was awesome?
Well, yeah, he's awesome, but really, let's be completely honest here. Why?
Well, to be fair, The Godfather, the guy, isn't just, The Godfather. He was also...
Kama Mustafa, Papa Shango.
Yeah.
But... once again, why?
Because The Godfather is the latest, kind of.
I know, but still, the question remains. In my mind, maybe not in others. Why?
Because he was a prominent figure during the Attitude Era, and it was one of the most lucratively and popular times to be a wrestling fan, and to be a wrestler.
Yeah, true.
And also...
and if he tried to do any of that today...
well, it's all in the execution. Like, you notice when he comes out these days, he doesn't say, like, the parts of his theme that say, like, Ho Train and Pimpin' Ain't Easy.
Well, the only times when he does show up is for the Royal Rumble, so, yeah. Can he really have opportunities to say that? No.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about him saying it. I'm talking about the
theme song.
Yeah, use the instrumental version of his theme song. Like, it still exists, but it's just not, like, overt anymore.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually okay with it.
I'm okay with it. It's just another question of, I guess they didn't have anyone bigger. They didn't have a bigger name.
Well, then again, Sting is already...
no, but I mean, like, The Godfather is number 2.
I think The Godfather is a fair choice for this.
I'm not saying... that he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying the second name you roll out after Sting is The Godfather.
Well, I feel like no matter who you put in that slot, it's going to be minor compared to Sting.
I personally would have put the Freebirds in second.
For me, it doesn't matter the order. Personally, if they just put in the Godfather himself, Charles Wright, in as Charles Wright, because of all the multiple personalities we just said he was. And, hell, most of the time we're actually still talking about him to this day. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just surprised it wasn't really, like I said, the guy, Charles Wright, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, not just the Godfather character.
I just feel like people wouldn't recognize, like newer people wouldn't recognize the name Charles Wright. So they went with the one that people, like the most casuals, would recognize.
Exactly.
The Godfather.
Yeah, everyone still talks about Papa Shango a lot more than The Godfather.
To me, it depends, but I guarantee you...
No. People like us talk more about Papa Shango than The Godfather.
I think... I don't know. With casuals, though, I think you might hear, like, not Charles Wright, The Godfather, depending on who you ask, like, depending on when they were a big fan of wrestling at the time. But I'll bet you, if I was a betting man, I'd almost put money on this, that you would hear him discuss things like Papa Shango and Kama Mustafa and all that during his Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, of course.
Like, I bet you they're like you said, Godfather is just sort of what a lot of people know him as. So that's just what they're putting him out as, just saying, oh, hey, this guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's like if Mick Foley was not really known as Mick Foley, and he just wasn't portrayed in that way. If he got to the WWE and spent the vast majority of his time as Mankind, he would have gone into the Hall of Fame as Mankind.
But he actually brought all three of his personalities in, and then they brought in Mick Foley.
And then the fans recognized him as Mick Foley.
Yeah. Nobody recognizes The Godfather as Charles Wright or anything like that. So The Godfather being the one to go in out of the four that he was makes the most sense.
Yeah. And then it's not even like The Godfather is exclusively going in. It's
still the dude.
Yeah, he's being called The Godfather when really we all know who this guy is.
Yeah.
We all know he's Papa Shango. We also all knew he was a good father. We knew he was Kama Mustafa.
The good father.
Yes.
The good
Take
father.
your pick. He's one of those guys with like a million different
I still
gimmicks.
count the good father as the Godfather because, hey, might as well.
Yeah. Closing comment. Does anyone remember Godfather's heel turn?
Yeah, that was weird, man.
Yeah, it was.
People barely remember the Godfather's heel turn.
Like
I
remember the Good Father because that was he changed so completely that he changed his name.
And you had Victoria as one of the hosts protesting the Good Father.
That.
You remember that?
But when the Godfather himself, how do you turn that guy bad and still keep the Godfather name? How?
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Oh,
so they didn't do it.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Yeah, that's all you got. Pimpin' ain't easy.
Well, congratulations to Charles Wright, The Godfather, Papa Shango, etc. And for the Freebirds. Good for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was never...
The Freebirds are just deserving. I don't think anyone's really disputing that.
Michael Hayes finally gets into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time he'll get into the Hall of Fame.
I hope he goes in as Doc Hendricks.
Shush! Shush! Don't say that. You'll give them ideas.
Why not?
No. Next year we're gonna get Gangrel.
Oh, I hope. I love Gangrel. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Congratulations to all people who are joining the Hall of Fame.
Oh yes, indeed. Yes.
Who are officially announced.
Indeed. But in the meantime, while we're talking about the here and now, just announced as of today, as of this recording. Good big news with Rhino. Did you guys hear this?
No. What is this?
Rhino is officially on the ballot for Michigan State Representative.
Really?
Yeah. He's from Dearborn, Michigan.
Huh.
Does that mean anything to anybody else?
Well, the fact that he No.
No?
No.
The fact that he went to Michigan State, or the...
Yeah, go on Twitter and I see Rhino in a suit and a bow tie.
Wow, that is incredibly awkward.
On Twitter. Yeah,
that yellow suit makes him look like a politician.
Makes him look like a used car salesman.
Yeah. Mustard yellow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is horrid.
And compared to his actual Twitter picture, where it's just him sitting on a motorcycle, just with like a sleeveless vest and looking all like a badass, like will just gore you through anything. Now you look at this photo of him running for state representative, and he's just like he's like Steve, the hardcore tax accountant, or something.
Looking at this picture.
Bizarre.
Oh my god!
If you're on Twitter right now, go on Twitter right now and look up Rhino and look up Rhino's Twitter account and just look at this. He's Bob the hardcore used car salesman.
Brilliant, fool. That is just brilliant.
I'm reaching here.
I can tell. Jesus.
Either way, this whole thing still sounds so surreal. Like, honestly, if I was anywhere near Dearborn, Michigan, I would vote for him.
Or else he'll gore you.
Or vote for me, or else beat the gore.
That should be his slogan.
Please,
that should be his slogan.
Gore the taxes.
Gore the taxes.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna gore your taxes.
High unemployment rate.
Gore
it. Oh my lord! This is ridiculous.
School system. Gore. Oh man, I need to stop.
Please, this is just like not. This is me turning on Rhino. I can't take him seriously now.
No, it's like I can take him seriously up until the moment I see that photo with the mustard yellow suit and the bow tie.
Someone whoever goes to the next like NXT event and has Rhino in the event, just expand that picture, put it on poster board, and just have it be there in the background.
No, I'm saying this right now. When Kane actually runs for whatever he's going to run for when he retires, okay, and he shows up looking like Rhino did in that picture on his Twitter, no, you're cut off.
Oh, please. At least Kane has shown up to these debates and he's actually dressed well.
Yeah,
politics Kane.
Yeah,
politics Kane.
Politics Kane knows how to dress.
Yeah, politics Rhino does not.
Wow. Politics Rhino just dresses like an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Yeah.
Say that to his face and find out what happens.
I'll do it from a distance with a microphone so he can't gore me.
Yeah.
It's the only time where you can feel safe at saying that.
Yes. I am now banned from visiting Dearborn, Michigan.
Oscar Mayer wiener.
Gore. You think I look like an Oscar Mayer wiener?
Gore.
Alright, enough with politics, Rhino. Let's get into...
We're gonna make that a thing.
Politics Rhino.
I'm gonna take that picture and just put politics Rhino right under.
Seriously, just wait. After all
politics
this nonsense,
Kane versus politics Rhino in politics.
Just wait. Politics Rhino is gonna end up winning.
Oh Jesus!
Now be a state representative of Michigan. Now what are you gonna do?
Go to Detroit and gore.
In a yellow suit. Gore in a yellow suit.
I need some clear liquid after this one.
We need to unpack there for a second. Meanwhile, there are a couple of interesting developments from this week's Monday Night Raw.
The road to WrestleMania continues.
The road to WrestleMania does continue, and we got some interesting segments. We finally got the response from The Undertaker regarding this whole Shane McMahon issue.
And it was one sentence long!
Yeah, grabs Vince McMahon by the throat and says, "You know who I am, you know what I do.
You know what's going to happen when I close those doors?
The
blood of your son is going to be on your hands, not mine."
Bong, walk away.
I'm like, when he was speaking, it was so great. And I'm like, okay, now he's going to explain, now he's going to do, and then he turns and he walks away. And I'm like, wait.
No,
that's it.
For me, it's like he grabs Vince McMahon's throat. Yes, he's finally gonna say, "Why are you using me as your tool?" or something like that. Exactly. I'm not your tool. But no, it's with what he says. Like, I'm gonna the blood of your son is gonna be on your hands. So I'm okay with being your pawn in your stupid family dilemma.
Thank you.
This,
completely straight.
Remember when I had hope that this was going to be great last week?
Yeah, it's a sinking ship. That's exactly how I'm feeling.
I was like,
yeah, I was
because last week I was like,
one of me.
Last week I was like, you have 5 weeks to make this shit make sense, okay? And it's easily done. It could have been easily done, but they come out and he comes out, he grabs Vince by the throat, he says those things, and I'm like, okay, now he's going to explain why he's fine with being Vince's
lackey.
He turns and walks away. I'm like, no.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
No.
It wasn't even climactic.
No, I was just looking at the screen, watching with my buddy, and I was just like, no.
It's like,
no.
Yeah,
no.
I was just as
intrigued. Tracy Morgan in Cop Out.
No.
I was just as intrigued about it as you were last week. I'm just because we know how Shane McMahon can put on spectacular matches. I actually recently watched King of the Ring with him and Kurt Angle. Just how intense that match was, and seeing how Shane is actually training for this match, and I was like, oh, good. At least, Shane's actually being like, I'm not just going to be a pushover. Hopefully they'll do something interesting with the story for the next 5 weeks. And you have the nice cruise ship of Undertaker versus Shane McMahon getting ready to go into that port, the WrestleMania port. But what happens? It hits a coral under the ship. We hit coral. And we're starting to pick up water, and it's not looking good for our ship. And it's like, you're losing me. And this is me as an Undertaker fan.
And here's
going, really? You're not really gonna be like, you're just okay being part of being a tool in a family dilemma, in the struggle in a family struggle for power of WWE.
And here's the problem with Vince's promo afterwards. It's telegraphing.
Oh, he's out of the will.
He's out of the will. I'm gonna give it all the stuff. And I'm going to denounce him as my son. He will no longer be my son. He will just be a son of a bitch. So you obviously,
even the delivery of that line was anticlimactic.
Obviously. Okay.
How very PG of you, Vince.
Shane is going to find a way to come out on top. Because they just telegraphed it in one promo. The blood of your son will be on your hands, not mine. Okay. That's fine. And that's fine. That's typical Undertaker promo. Doesn't help advance the story at all. Whatever storyline advancement they did do in the promo afterwards telegraphed the entire what's going to happen in this match. At least in my eyes. Okay, telegraphed.
This is the first time in I don't even know how long. Probably since Undertaker versus Mark Henry in the casket match that I haven't been looking forward to an Undertaker WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts.
Because it was...
Now you're where I was at last week.
You had opportunities. You had chances. There were ways that you could make this work. Okay, and then that entire promo just killed it. It killed it. It telegraphed the ending of the match. It telegraphed the winner. It telegraphed everything, and the Undertaker came out and was like, "Fine, I'll do your business, but just realize your son's gonna die, and it's gonna be your fault." That's it. That's all.
Here's my final statement on this. Here you go. Here you go, Vince. Here you go, Undertaker. Here you go, Shane. Here's a bucket. Go down to the water. Go down to the bottom of that ship I talked about, and start trying to clear out that water. Good luck trying to make me interested in this match. You have 4 weeks to go. Wait, is it 4 weeks?
3 or 4 maybe. I think.
What is it? 3 or 4? 3.
First weekend in April.
It's 4 weeks.
You have 4 weeks to clear out this water. Good luck.
You have 4 weeks to clear out this water, and
save your ship and make
and right now
make it to the WrestleMania port.
Right now, you're not using the power Swiffer. You're using buckets, man. You're using buckets.
Well, I gave them the buckets. Didn't you just hear what I said? I gave them the buckets, man.
No, I mean, like, you could have a power Swiffer. You can have a power sucker to suck that water up, but no, you've gone so far deep down. All you're getting is buckets.
Oh no! Right now they deserve the buckets. If they actually start making this more interesting, then I'll start handing them the.
You need to put in some work, WWE,
the sucker,
because
the vacuum to suck out this water.
You totally lost me with this analogy.
You took me from a high. Okay, Shane McMahon's back. He's facing the Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Could work. I'm still up here because I'm gonna get to see Shane McMahon bump his ass off again. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. And now I'm at Jeff's stage of this shit makes no sense at all.
Okay, to clear out the analogy I just made, I gave them the bucket to clear out the water because this thing is crap. Because they're gonna have to do a lot to make me interested, and if they start to get me interested, then I'll give them the vacuum to suck out the water, because then they're piquing my interest again.
This is going back to the sinking ship.
Of the sinking ship.
Yeah, I was like, what? Buckets? What?
Of the sinking ship.
Yeah, we went back to the beginning of the story where he said it was a sinking ship.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm with you now.
Are you with me? Are you people at home with me? Are you Brian? Are you with me?
I was with you the entire time.
Buckets.
Thank you.
Hoses. Tubes.
Tubes.
Water. Yes.
I gotta go to the bathroom now.
I got my own thoughts about how this can be done reasonably well, but I'll get into that when we get into a subject we'll be talking about in a little bit. In the meantime, we got a little situation brewing between Dean Ambrose and Triple H. Guys, break it down for me. What's this about?
I'll tell you exactly what this is about. Roman Reigns had to go off and have actual surgery on a nose problem that is on a pre-existing nose condition. That's why they busted open his nose on TV.
That's
so
why Byron Saxton handed him something to cut his nose open.
And yeah, this is the side story that they're going to put together to do while Roman Reigns is recovering. So
Dean Ambrose is filler.
Dean Ambrose is the filler in this Roman Reigns Triple H sandwich.
So wait, do we actually know what is he going?
Dean Ambrose is getting a title shot next week.
Here's what happened on Raw. Triple H comes out saying how awesome he is because he took out Roman Reigns, blah blah blah, and he's the champion.
Showing the picture of Roman Reigns.
And Dean Ambrose comes in basically saying Roman Reigns is gonna come and kick your ass, blah blah blah. But now since he's gone, or since Reigns is gone, I'm still here and I want a title match. And he's basically trying to reel Triple H in, fishing metaphor, to getting a title match. And Triple H is like, you know what, I'll think about it. And until then, you have a match with Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
And with the League of Nations in the corner. Same shit. And the League of Nations completely bang him. Best way to put it. They completely dismantle him. Triple H comes out and says, "You see, this is why you're never going to amount to anything." Ambrose punches him in the face, gets a huge pop from the crowd. Then Triple H pedigrees him and says, "You want your title match? You got a title match." Yeah, Triple H leaves. Dean Ambrose, thanks.
And Triple H comes down and beats the shit out of Dean Ambrose.
That I already knew.
So now it's official. Next week they're going to have a network event, Roadblock, Triple H versus Dean Ambrose for the title.
Yeah, that much I already knew.
And that's the side story. It's
what's the
But the but is, my question is, how seriously are they going to take this? What do we know about Roman Reigns' recovery?
Roman Reigns will be, I guarantee you, okay, this is side. The match with Roman Reigns and Triple H is still going to happen at WrestleMania. The match with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose is still going to happen with WrestleMania. This, I guarantee you, Dean Ambrose has Triple H on the ropes, hits the dirty deeds, out comes Brock Lesnar, fucks him up, and then Triple H gets the pin, starts celebrating, here comes Roman Reigns, he's back. Boom. Side story complete, on with the move on.
And you just completely killed any hype I had. Because I was really thinking, I was holding out hope that they're thinking, okay, maybe we need to readjust. We're seeing that Dean Ambrose is getting more of a reaction, so we're just sort of injecting this random-ass roadblock show to do something.
If they had not already announced the match, the Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar match, if they had been building it up and hadn't already announced it, I'd be more hype. But it's already announced. Okay, Roman Reigns is getting the title shot at WrestleMania. Whether it's Dean Ambrose or Triple H, and because Dean Ambrose is already booked in another match, que sera, sera.
And honestly, trust me, I would love to see them work something out and putting Dean Ambrose in the title match just as much as you. But yeah, it's not happening. This is just time. This is just filler. And the only sad thing about this is, I said it to you guys before we started recording. This is Roman Reigns. What Dean Ambrose is doing is what is Roman Reigns done right. The difference is with Roman Reigns getting beat up by Triple H last week, the crowd was cheering for Triple H to continue beating the crap out of him. And he's the babyface of the feud. And then this week you have Dean Ambrose in the exact same position. And you're getting the actual reaction that you want from the crowd. We are booing the hell out of Triple H because they're attacking the guy that we want. The only problem is WWE is not going to take advantage of that situation. Yes, we're getting a Dean Ambrose Triple H title match, and it's going to be great. But like what Brian just said, it's going to end where, at least it'll end with making Dean Ambrose look like it takes two guys to take him down.
It takes a wild Lesnar.
It takes a wild Lesnar and a crazy Triple H to take down Dean Ambrose. Because I love what they're doing with Dean Ambrose. The guy who just won't die.
Because if you set up, it's already set up. They made the graphic and everything. So I watched SmackDown. There's a graphic there. You can't just have the crowd go nuts for Dean Ambrose saying, "I want Brock Lesnar, no holds barred street fight," and then just scrap it. Scrap it 2 weeks later and give Dean Ambrose the title. I would love it if they did. I would. But you can't. You can't do it. It's this isn't a Daniel Bryan situation where they had plans going into WrestleMania for something completely different, and the crowd, and they were like, okay, we have no choice. We have to put Daniel Bryan in here. We have to find a way for this to work. Okay, this isn't one of those options. You didn't have Daniel Bryan set up in a match already when they made that stipulation. He's got to beat Triple H to get into the title match. Okay, Dean Ambrose has a fully set up, no holds barred street fight. If it was a one-on-one regular match, okay, you could say, okay, we're gonna scrap this till the next pay-per-view. Let's find a way to get Dean Ambrose in here. But this is a no-holds-barred street fight against Brock Lesnar. Okay, you can't change that once it's already set up.
And to be perfectly honest, I think this match with Brock Lesnar, street fight, is actually has more intrigue than the title match itself.
And it has more intrigue.
What does that say about the title match?
It has more intrigue without the title in it.
Exactly.
Which is why it makes sense. Yeah, the match is going to be great. Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. Because Triple H knows how to get... Does he do it often? No, but he knows how to get guys over. Okay?
Even so,
it's... But you have to build up heat for the street fight. So, boom. Dean Ambrose hit the dirty deeds. It's done. It's over. Here comes a wild, rabid Lesnar. Just take him out. Okay, boom. There's more build up to your street fight, which is I already believe that the title match isn't going to be the main event. The Undertaker Shane McMahon Hell in a Cell match, in my opinion, is going to be the main event.
I actually won't be surprised.
So they brought that in to take the heat off of the title match. They're like, we don't want this to be like MetLife, where the Undertaker versus CM Punk came on, and then everyone shit all over John Cena versus The Rock. They don't want it to be like 25, when the Undertaker Shawn Michaels came on, and then Triple H versus Randy Orton came on, and the crowd shit all over that. So the crowd's gonna shit all over Triple H versus Roman Reigns no matter what. But do you want that to be the end of your pay-per-view?
And
honestly, I feel like I don't really want any of the alternatives, because with the one, you've got you've got Roman Reigns versus Triple H that is minimal. It seems like minimal enthusiasm. Either that, or you've got a main event in Shane versus The Undertaker, who, for all intents and purposes, are basically just part-timers.
Well, let me just put this out there, okay? We don't want that. We don't want any of those options. The people who are going to be at WrestleMania are more likely to have a good reaction. That's all that they care about. The people at WrestleMania are more likely to have a good reaction to The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon.
You're not wrong.
Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Okay, if the WWE were smart, they would put The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon as the
final match.
As the final match. If they were really smart, they'd put Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose as the final match, but they're not. So, of the two alternatives, The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon should be the main event, because you actually get a good reaction no matter what.
Yeah, because to adding to what you said, WWE doesn't want a WrestleMania where most likely Roman Reigns is going to win. That's a no-brainer. Hell, we don't even have to save that for the prediction show, because we've been talking about that for months. They don't want WrestleMania to end with people booing it out of the building. They don't want the show to close just hearing boo, 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 unless they're turning Roman Reigns heel, and that's not going to happen. As much as, hell, a lot of us want that to happen. Hell, Stone Cold Steve Austin wants that to happen. But it's WWE's, better terms, stupid, and they're not going to do it. And, yeah, the smart choice is Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. The smarter choice is Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. But sadly, we all know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, at this point, the only way I can stay sane is just take a wait and see approach, and maybe possibly hope they'll make something out of this. But right now, my hope is very minimal.
Your hope is when we have the WrestleMania viewing party, there's going to be a lot of alcoholic beverages to help you have a good time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Oh, yeah.
I know how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember when you were talking about the plan to have live reactions, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for this WrestleMania.
Actually, I think that may be an awesome idea.
We'll take it under advisement.
It would just be a close-up of Jeff's face the entire time. Just deadpan stare. I hate this shit.
Accompanied by the sad walking away theme from The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. That's how the episode's gonna end, with just like little Chris. Dun, 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 dun.
Just us slowly heads down walking out the door.
But you know what? I think it's time to be a little bit more productive. Fool, you were talking about... you touched upon this briefly during our Scholars Quick Talk segment, talking about how are we going to book the Wyatts. And you want to expand on that this week, correct?
Indeed I did. And indeed I do. I do want to expand on that, especially with how you guys reacted to it. You were saying, you both were just like, yeah, we need time to think about this. And guess what? I gave you the time. I gave you a heads up. Instead of it being a Scholars Quick Talk this week, we're going to have a Scholars Wyatt Talk. Where the rest of this conversation that we're going to have, rest of the discussion, is just going to be solely on the Wyatt family. Because we all can agree the Wyatt family right now is at its lowest point since joining the main roster.
Yes, absolutely.
Indeed.
We have when it comes to the point where they're losing to... We even said this last week. They're losing to two guys who are literally one footstep out the door and a guy that no one really cares about in Ryback. Mm-hmm. Which, it's sad because I do like Ryback to an extent, but that's another story. And now I'm going to start with a natural quick talk, which asks you guys, do you think the Wyatt family turning face may actually help them?
Yes. At this point, yes. Because the fact that they've already lost to all the big faces. They lost to The Undertaker, they lost to John Cena. They've gone up against all the faces. They haven't gone up against any of the heels. They've teased it the one time when they came out against the League of Nations for that minute before the New Day and all of them started coming down. And hell,
the response they got with Bray Wyatt attacking Triple H at the Royal Rumble.
I think at this point there's no other choice. They have nowhere else to go as heels. They had an opportunity if they stuck with the plan. If they stuck with the plan instead of putting Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, if they stuck with the plan, there could have been some more room for heel growth. But the way they just murdered them at Fastlane, there's nothing left.
Anything to add, Fool?
Not really. They're just really going to have to redo a lot to get back to the Wyatts where they need to be. If they've got some sort of compelling story, the Wyatts can easily go face in their typical Wyatt way. Like, if you look at the last promo that they did for NXT before they joined the main roster, Bray was going on this whole big tirade about bringing down the machine. Like, I'm not saying that they're going to need to go up against the Authority, whatever form it takes post WrestleMania, but I'm just saying that's one way they could possibly do it. Because in that promo, Bray was pure face. So, short answer, I think it's entirely possible.
And now that leads to the quick talk, which now is becoming the Wyatt talk, with what we talked about last week. How would we book the Wyatts going into WrestleMania this year?
Well, if we're talking about...
This is fantasy, but the matches that are officially announced stand. This is your fantasy booking.
I would, since it seems like they're doing something with AJ Styles completely different from what we thought they were going to do. Okay, you're going to turn... If we're talking about turning Bray Wyatt face, why not have him up against Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title?
So you would say Kevin Owens versus Bray Wyatt for the IC title?
Kevin Owens versus Bray Wyatt, IC title. Or because the other options, without turning them face, the options are maybe Bray Wyatt versus Kalisto for the United States title. You got shoehorn Harper and Rowan into a tag team title, one of those fatal 4-way matches they like to do at WrestleMania back in the day for the tag team titles, or just something nobody wants to see, all four of them in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I say, if you're not going to have AJ Styles in the Intercontinental title match, why not turn the Wyatt family face and have Bray Wyatt face off against Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title?
Okay. Fool, what do you got?
Okay. Well, in anything, correct me if I'm wrong, we are going off of just what we already know to be on the WrestleMania card, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Having said that, there's a limited amount of things I feel like that could be reasonably done with Bray Wyatt and the entire Wyatt family. However, my core rationale for determining what to do with them stems from one single simple notion. Bray Wyatt must win. Mm-hmm. He is in dire need of a victory, especially a WrestleMania victory. He's lost 2 straight high-profile WrestleManias. He needs something. It may not be as big as everyone who he just lost to the past couple of years, but he is in dire need of repair, dire need of image repair, and he needs something to go on. And so far, the solution I've come up with thus far is this. I'm thinking back to the 6-man tag at Fastlane. Where somehow the Wyatts lost to this random-ass team of Ryback, Big Show, and Kane. Mm-hmm. Bray Wyatt has already beaten Kane. I'm not sure if Bray Wyatt has beaten the Big Show yet. I'm pretty sure he has, hasn't he?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, either way.
I think when he was by himself.
Let's put it this way. Even if he did not, Big Show, I've been hearing rumors that he's going to get mixed up with Kevin Owens for some ridiculous reason.
Yeah, I heard about that too. WWE, we don't want Big Show in another Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. Don't do it.
And you know what they'd be basing it on? Okay, dueling top rope crotch countouts.
Well, okay, you're right. Because this is a digression. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other discussion for another episode.
Either way, here's the point. The point is, out of those 3, Bray Wyatt has beaten Kane. Bray Wyatt has presumably beaten Big Show. He needs an opponent. So, really, I'd say the most logical thing right now is to pick up where you left off. Ryback's on a hot streak right now. Pick up where you left off there. Have those guys go at it. Spark up the feud after a roadblock or whatever you got. Use that to sort of jumpstart it again. Do Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. Give Ryback his usual, feed me more, whatever entrance. Bray Wyatt will come out to another little spooky WrestleMania time entrance. It'll be great. And then Bray Wyatt gets a WrestleMania one-on-one victory that he's been sorely needing for so long. And that's what you do with Bray Wyatt.
I just want to throw this out there. Okay.
Is
Ryback the heel in this scenario? Because he's heel now.
Yeah, Ryback turned heel.
Well, Ryback turned.
There you go. There's your way to make him face. Yeah. There's your way to make Bray Wyatt face.
Okay.
All you need to do is just have him cut the right promo. Maybe Ryback's being a bully. I don't know. Just throw a bunch of random stuff at.
Well, he was only a bully to Adam Rose.
You leave the Roses alone, Ryback.
He took out Adam Rose hard.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. It was just like, and yeah, it was.
He started he threw like 30 blows into the dude's face.
It was brutal, man. It was brutal. B.R. Oodle.
Well, no matter what, like I mentioned before, no matter who Bray Wyatt ends up facing, an absolute must is he must win. Bray Wyatt must win. He needs a victory. The Wyatt family in general. None of this, wins and losses don't matter. I'm not even going to get on how stupid that is. But Bray Wyatt has gone far too long without a victory. Enough time where he needs some more credibility. He needs to look like a force and a presence again. A player of note. And he just needs to get back into it. So no matter what happens, he must win. Bray Wyatt must win.
Whatever match Bray Wyatt is in at WrestleMania, anything at all, Bray Wyatt must win.
Mm-hmm. Fool, what do you got? Any thoughts?
Actually, yeah, I actually have my own booking for the Wyatt family. I thought we'd go all out on this one. Have you guys go first, and let me hear what you guys said, and now you get to hear what I have to say.
What do you got for us?
I'm going back to what you were just saying about when Bray Wyatt, when the Wyatt family was just leaving NXT, and they were saying they were going to go after the Machine. Well, I'm not saying they go straight after the Authority, but Bray Wyatt is starting to do promos of him saying he wants to save everyone. He wants to help. I'm thinking of who else can he help than against people who are just nonstop attacking everyone who gets in their way. The League of Nations. Mm-hmm. We've already gotten the hint of the Wyatt family versus the League of Nations, and the League of Nations are the lackeys to the Authority. It can start with the Wyatt family turning face, starting to slowly build their way up to eventually start having a feud with the Authority. So the match that I have at WrestleMania is an 8-man tag elimination match. The League of Nations versus the Wyatts.
I gotta admit, I would certainly enjoyed that a heck of a lot more.
And it may not be a John Cena Undertaker high profile, but really, other than Triple H and Stephanie, the League of Nations are the top heels of the company. So, really, standing up to and having the Wyatt family having a match against them, in a way, when it comes to the full timers, it is a high profile match.
And when you think about it, when you really think about it, the League of Nations doesn't have anything to do with WrestleMania yet.
Hell, they don't have anything to do right now.
That makes me think that might be what they end up doing.
It's a hell of a lot better than them probably having Sheamus and Rusev just thrown into the tag team title thing with the Usos, the Dudley Boys, and the New Day. With the New Day continuously making videos of them making fun of the League of Nations. I think that's stupid. It's stupid. Taking it from Ryback.
Again, this is another case where, in my opinion, it's all going to come down to how WWE sticks the landing at come WrestleMania. They still have hope to at least produce some sort of interesting result from all of this mess.
Because let's remember, okay, the build-up to last year's WrestleMania was kind of piss poor as well. Okay, and the WrestleMania itself was fantastic. So, you still got a shot. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's always a shot. Last year, no one was giving WrestleMania any hope. Okay, and it was Manny's best show of the year. Okay, so something can still happen. You're not doing good on the build up right now, but
you still have 4 weeks.
Still have 4 weeks. You still have 4 weeks,
and we still have Roadblock.
You still have Roadblock, and I really hope that the build up isn't piss poor, but you can always still put on a great show.
Is this WrestleMania in general, or just any particular
WrestleMania in general? WrestleMania for the Wyatt family. WrestleMania for everybody at this point. You're doing piss poor build up for everybody.
And now right now I'm going to leave this to our audience. Is there any scenario that we chose? Like, which one was your favorite? Because honestly, I did like them all. I liked throwing throwing him against Ryback, throwing him for the Intercontinental title, and him standing up against pretty much the top heel team of the League of Nations. Which one do you like? And hell, how would you book the Wyatt family for WrestleMania with the WrestleMania match card that we have now? Fantasy-wise. Fantasy booking. Go, people!
Yes. Let us know, and of course you can drop us a line throughout the usual methods. Leave us a comment on this video. Like if you like what you hear. Subscribe if you want to see more. You can also give us a little note on our Facebook page. Look us up at the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Let us know what you think. And of course, you can always do my personal favorite. Follow the conversation on Twitter. You can follow our main page at ScholarsOW. Fool, where can they reach you at?
I'm at the Avataric.
Brian?
And I am at Atomic Beanpole.
And I'm Robbie Rage. I'm Robbie Rage, all one word, no apostrophe.
People have messed up with that?
Because Twitter handles don't use
Hey, you know what? This is the internet. Sometimes you gotta idiot-proof things.
Yeah, wait, really? People have actually tried looking you up with with the apostrophe?
You know what?
I've seen a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
With the people on the internet, it would have surprised me one bit.
But either way, I'm sure everyone will know just to not use the apostrophe, because let's face it, they know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you at Roadblock.
I'm going to give them a bucket.
Bucket.